So, welcome to the Women's Health and Hormones class. I'm really excited to be sharing some ways that we can smooth out some of those big dips, whether we've started our cycle as a young girl, or we've got daughters and granddaughters that are struggling, or right through to peri and past menopause, um, postmenopausal as well. We've got something that we can do to help balance. But firstly, just a little overview of what the endocrine system is. And when we think of the endocrine system, it's basically our hormonal landscape of our body. And the main function of our endocrine system is to release hormones into our blood and constantly monitor everything in the body. So hormones deliver messages targeting the cells, and we probably talk about a couple of hormones in this class, but there are over 50 different hormones, and they affect every single aspect of our health: metabolism, our growth and development, our blood sugar level, our reproduction, our sleep-wake cycle, our mood. So very small amounts of hormones can trigger significant responses and changes in the body. So if we've got like too little or too much of a hormone, it can really affect our health, and it can often cause noticeable symptoms. So there's gonna be some ways that we can show you how we can really make sure our endocrine system is working as best it can in the modern world that we live in. We know we can't do a perfect job, but there's definitely lots of things we can do. I'm just going to share some slides with you now, and just so we can have a visual. Go. Okay. So when you think of your body or your endocrine system, think of it like a house. We are a house, and think of a house that's full of junk, messy house full of kids that just leave stuff on the stairs. Okay, so like the stuff on the stairs, the stuff in the doorway, there's washing everywhere, there's dirt everywhere. Think of that as sometimes the way our endocrine system may be, where there's lots of toxins, there's lots of stuff going on, and the hormones can't do the job. They can't, like we can't walk down the stairs because there's clothes everywhere. So there's ways that we can clean up our home, our body, so that our endocrine system can work really properly, and everything can flow. The footways are open, and everything can flow, and we can walk in and out the room, and our hormones can sort of um do what they're intended to do. Often some of the symptoms are because they've just gone AWOL and they don't know what they're meant to do. And I'll show you why it's really important that we know why sometimes our hormones play up. So we've talked about that. Just a little bit about the oils. When we're talking about some essential oils to help balance hormones, we're talking about CPTG oils, which is, we know, as doTERRA, probably the purest in the world. Um, we know that they're just distilled directly from that plant straight into the bottle with no adulteration, nothing added. Even, sometimes they have similar um, chemical constituents put into our oil, and it's still classed as 100% pure. We have none of that. It's literally that plant into the bottle, 100% natural. And it's this grade of oil that we can use in a therapeutic setting. We can use it for our body. Some people have said that certain essential oils, I don't know if you've heard this controversy, can cause endocrine problems in males as well. I don't know if you've heard that. And the tests that were done were not on certified pure oils, just to be aware. When we're using things that are 100% from nature, we know that they are only going to do as good. So some simple ways that we're going to look at some pillars, really. We're going to address some of the emotional issues, help to reduce our toxic load, some self-care, and how to support hormone balancing with essential oils, and some of the symptoms, how we can soothe some of those symptoms. But first of all, what are some of the symptoms, and do we struggle with these? Do we struggle with mood swings? Um, Maybe we've got excess facial hair. Maybe we've got sore breasts towards our cycle starting, our menstrual cycle in the month. We may get hot flushes. We may get menstrual headaches. We may get hormonal acne around the chin area normally. We can get all sorts of things: low libido, weight gain, being irritable, and really really excessive pain as well as heavy bleeding. So when everything is working well, our body is a wonderful thing, and it's constantly, every minute, it's trying to balance, get into balance. It's trying its best. The receptor sites on our cells, they're constantly scanning and balancing chemical levels, but toxins can block cell receptors and disrupt the communications. So think of toxins as all the stuff in your house that's just you can't get through. And what are some of these toxins? Well, they're found in xenoestrogens, which are synthetic compounds that mimic natural estrogens in the body, and they overstimulate our normal body function. So normally, natural estrogen goes to the intended cell to do the correct thing, like trigger an egg or, whatever it needs to do, it will do the right thing at the right time. Whereas xenoestrogens are like imposters, and they're mimicking our natural estrogens, and they're just basically sending it AWOL in unintended signals. And some of the symptoms or some of the indications that there are a lot of xenoestrogens in our modern diet or modern life, I should say, is early menopause, overproduction of breast tissues in men and women. We know that that's an excess in estrogen. Premature menstruation, so more and more younger girls are getting their period earlier and earlier, aren't they? Years ago, it was a lot later, and that is a sign we've got a lot more chemicals around. Thyroid diseases, cancer, endometriosis, and all sorts of things. So where do we find those xenoestrogens, and how can we reduce what is going on in our body to stop these xenoestrogens messing us up? Well, a lot of xenoestrogens are found in products that we may use every day, in everyday cleaning chemicals, washing powder, things that we use to scent our home, and cleaning products. Perfumes, pesticides, medications, tap water, canned food, farmed fish even. And a lot of the things, I know a lot of the things we can't always reduce, because sometimes we need these every day, but there's a lot of things that we can swap out and make a huge difference. And I know personally, I've done this. Making some simple swaps using low tox products can really make a massive difference. So not only like the household products, we've also got personal care products. When you think that a woman, maybe not us, because we may be a bit cleaner, a woman puts an average of 168 chemicals in our body every day. It's really shocking, isn't it? And when you think of young girls, they use cosmetics because they want to look pretty and they want to smell nice. But what's it doing to them? It's really sad, isn't it, to say that everything that goes on our skin, we don't realize it's getting into our bloodstream. So I didn't realize, just think it goes on the skin, it's fine, but it gets into the bloodstream and it can cause disruption of the endocrine system. And people are very well aware of this, companies are, but it's still out there. So I really encourage anyone who's got young girls to make sure that they're using a clean skincare products, like either making your own or things like brands like Tropics, doTERRA do skincare, or any other clean skincare that there's no endocrine disruptors in, and swapping the cosmetics out as well. If I could say one thing to swap, it would be deodorant straight away, because I know that is the closest thing that really can mess up things straight away, and we're putting it on every day. So, so that can be something that's really, really a key point in changing. So some simple swaps, as we said, things like our shampoo, our conditioner. Like I said, the basic things are the things that we inhale every day. So if anyone's got any plugins, with like the Glade plugins, they can be awful for our breathing, asthma, headache, as well as being endocrine disruptors. So using a diffuser to scent your home naturally, it's going to do good rather than harm. Is going to benefit the whole family, and you can choose what scent you use in your diffuser, so you can shake it up, completely natural, and you only need, like, I don't know, 5 drops, and it lasts like 12 hours. I think it's really good value. And we make our own green cleaning sprays for glass cleaning, for multi-surface cleaning. There's very little now that in our household that we use that has chemicals in, maybe a bit of bleach. That's where I draw the line. But apart from that, um, skincare and everything is natural. And the ones that have done this, so this is like cleaning out everything that could go in your body and detoxify everything. And I know it can be expensive, but just some simple swaps and doing some DIY things can really help reduce that cost. And if you feel like everything, like you're mopping your floor with some cleaning solution, but your feet are going on it, and you think if it's got chemicals in, it's going straight into your bloodstream from your feet. Even the pets can be damaged from these cleaning chemicals. So everything, if we can start to look at things that we're still doing that maybe we can clean up, and that would be one of the biggest things for your endocrine system, one of the biggest things to do, and probably one of the cheapest things to do. Just looking at the lifespan of our hormones from when we start our cycle, we've got a nice steady estrogen level there, and it goes up and down according to our monthly cycle. And as we get to perimenopause, which could be anything from maybe 35, we can see there the big dip starting to go there. And generally, one of the reasons there is the estrogen is switching from being produced in the ovaries to being produced in the liver. And if it's in the liver, that can also cause middle-age spread and fatty liver. So one of the things to remember is make sure that your liver is clean and working right. Another reason why we need to clean up our house, because if our liver is sluggish, maybe we've got too much toxins, too many chemicals in the food, maybe too much alcohol or whatever, then our liver is working doubly hard to cope. So if our liver is working right, it can help with the natural estrogen production and detoxification. And obviously, stress is another symptom that can cause high cortisol levels, which can reduce our progesterone, which we need. Just wanted to mention the Lifelong Vitality. And this is three supplements that really can cover all bases with regards to our health and wellness. Think of everything that you would buy at the health food shop, all your vitamins, minerals, fatty acids that you need, covering all the bases. Because nowadays, when we used to buy tomatoes, let's say, I think 100 years ago, I think you need 20 tomatoes now to make up the deficiency in the minerals. Because of the intense farming and things, we just don't get that wonderful taste anymore, and all the essential vitamins. So if you feel like you maybe need to cover all your bases, I would recommend the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I take 2 of these every day. The full dose is equivalent to 12 portions of fruit and vegetables. It helps with our bone health. It helps with our endocrine system. It helps gently. It's got powerful antioxidants, which we know we need. And just for our general function of everything, liver function, digestive health, eye health, everything, every cell is covered in your body with this pack. And if you're particularly low in energy, I would definitely start with the Lifelong Vitality. And it's got a 30-day money back guarantee. doTERRA know that it's such good stuff. All the broccoli, spirulina, everything that's in there is whole food. Your body's just going to say thank you. And if you don't feel any different, whether it's energy or whatever, some subtle changes, then they will give you your money back, no quibble. So that's something to think about. I'm not going to talk about the collagen because that's another class, but just to mention that we do really recommend the Women's Health Kit, and it is a trio. It's an oil roller, which is a Claricalm, and this helps to gently balance the excesses in our body, the estrogen, and hold on to progesterone. It's really calming, and it's great for our mood swings. And then there's phytoestrogen, which is a natural blend of plant estrogens to help detoxify some of that fake estrogen. And that again will help balance the hormones. And then we've got the bone nutrient, which is it's a supplement to help with, we can use it from the beginning of adolescence right through to menopause, because a lot of us are deficient in vitamin D, C, we've got calcium, magnesium, and other essential minerals that really support bone density. Especially as a woman ages, I think it's 1 in 5 women that will get some sort of hip replacement or something, because as our estrogen reduces, so does our bone density. And that's why more women are prone to these fractures and things as they age rather than men. So it's really important we look after our bones and get enough of the nutrients that we need. And I'm just going to talk a little bit more about the Claricalm and what's in it. So the Claricalm is a blend of all these wonderful hormone balancing um, essential oils. Some people use clary sage on its own, and we know that even midwives in hospitals use clary sage for the labour ward, because they know its effect on the hormone system. Um, so some people say, do I use clary sage or do I use Claricalm? And they're both wonderful, but Claricalm has all of these oils in one, and they've all been researched and chosen for the ability to help to calm. That the Roman camomile's got antispasmodic properties, so if you're rolling it over your abdomen when you're feeling those cramps, it can really help to calm and soothe, as well as the lavender. Geranium's incredible for the liver, helps with the liver cleansing. Ylang Ylan's really good for calming and hormone balancing. There's so much in it that, it's just such a worthwhile blend, to buy all these together and to put them all together in one. So what we found with the Claricalm is to roll it onto your pulse points and your ankles, or both, and use it on a daily basis, maybe twice a day, or at least at night time. And by the time your next cycle comes, think about the difference it's made, what's changed for you. Generally, within 1 to 3 months, you'll see a difference. For many people, it's huge, the difference it's made for them. Some people, I've had testimonials of people saying, I used to be a 60-day cycle, now it's bob on 28 days. Some people said my periods are a lot lighter now, and I don't get the same uncomfortable symptoms. Mood swings, their husbands noted the difference. It's like the marriage saver in some ways. They're getting a surprise when they do menstruate because they didn't get a warning. So that's really good. So it will do something good, whether it's subtle or big. And it's just very good to put these oils into our bloodstream and let them work their magic. Then we have just a little note about avocados and progesterone. Interesting fact, because I grew up in the 90s where it was all Slimming World and Weight Watchers, and it was all no fat diets. And now they're seeing how bad that was for people. To have no fat in your diet is just not good, because we need the good fats and the good cholesterol, because we need it to build progesterone. If we don't have any of that, then the body can't make progesterone, which is the calming hormone, the hormone that helps with our libido and everything like that. So it really helps to balance the estrogen and progesterone. So keep eating the really good fats. I think it's walnuts as well, and avocados that have these good fats. A little bit about Vitex as well. It's a herb that you can look into yourself and do your own research, but it really helps to promote the production of progesterone. And often we find that women don't have enough progesterone. Some people are on progesterone supplements, at patches or something, because it's just such a calming hormone that helps with our dopamine receptors, prolactin release, health of the ovaries. So we really need to hold on to progesterone. And often, if we're in a highly stressed state, like cortisol levels are really high on a constant basis, it can steal progesterone. So we're in that like cortisol dominance. So that's something to watch out for. If we are stressed a lot of the time, we need to try and change something to do with our life that's causing this constant fight or flight stress. So just a little review. Did you know that there are three types of estrogen? We've talked about the natural estrogen, that when it's working okay, it does its job, and we're grateful for it. But the xenoestrogens are those synthetic man-made estrogens that can really cause things to go off balance and really disrupt everything. And then just a little bit on phytoestrogen, which we'll talk about on the next slide. It's a natural plant-based estrogen that's found in certain plants, and we can use it to help balance the effects of this one. And we know that this one is the one that we need to avoid as much as possible. So phytoestrogens basically help equalize our estrogen levels. If you think what do they do? Just think phyto, fight the fake estrogen, help to block the bad xenoestrogens. They're not going to add any excess to the body. They're just going to help bring it back to balance. Where we're overexposed to estrogens. We know that overexposure to estrogens also can cause a lot of the increase in cancer as well. So very mild phytoestrogens, and we've had some lovely testimonials from this. Deborah, do you want to mention how this has had an effect on you? This is a game changer, isn't it?
Oh no, it really truly has. Ever since I was a teenager, I was a fainter because of just horrific, well, I'm sorry to use the word hemorrhaging, but that's what it is. Incredibly anemic. Even now my ferritin, well, not now, but for many years until last year, my ferritin is always incredibly low. So I was always told basically for life, I'm going to be on iron tablets until I go through menopause. And then last year, I was beyond perimenopause. And I remember speaking to my doctor, as you do, because I had so many symptoms, and my period was lasting for 2 weeks. So instead of having a horrific period where I'm incapacitated for 7 days, it was lasting 2 weeks. And I thought, actually, my body cannot cope with this nightmare. So I spoke to my doctor, who was really, really lovely. She was an expert in the hospital when it comes to hormones and female issues. So really lovely. And she just said, look, why don't we give it 2 to 3 months? Let's just see. I can see your estrogen levels are all over the spot. And if you need anything, call me. So she was really helpful. I spoke to Rachel. I've been speaking to my other friend, Joe, and I was like, I'm going to give these a go. And the following month, my period was absolutely horrific. And I remember thinking, what have I done? I've made a mistake. But then I thought consistency is key. And then instead of being incapacitated for 7 days, I'm under the weather for 2. And I'm on for 5 days and all. No, not incapacitated. Ill for 2. And then 3 are super light. So I'm on for 5 days now, and my life has been transformed. So I can actually go to work. I can get up in the morning, get dressed and showered without feeling that I'm going to faint or feel absolutely horrendous. And ironically, a lot of people I know have bought this off me simply because they are astonished, who've known me for 30 years, 40 years, that actually this has actually worked for me. Because I actually thought I was going to have a hysterectomy at one point. Well, a couple of times. It's been that bad. So for me, they are a lifesaver. They really have been, and transformed my world. And I don't say that lightly.
No, I know you don't. I know you don't. That's amazing. It's amazing. That's good. And also, as well as taking a supplement, we can also use take some of these foods that have natural phytoestrogens in them and add it to our diet as well to increase that. We talked a little bit about the need for taking some sort of supplement to help. Just be aware that some supplements on the market are not, they're synthetically made and the body doesn't absorb it, so it just goes straight out, and it's just expensive whey. I've done it before, doTERRA. I didn't realize it was synthetic. So make sure it's a whole food bioavailable complex, like the bone nutrient, and then you know that you can it's gonna do you good. I give this to my kids, even though we try and eat healthy, just to make sure they've got everything they need, because you can use it from from sort of 12 years upwards. You could just give them one. You can take up to 4. If you're on the lifelong vitality, I would just take 2, just to boost your bone density. And then just a little review of the essential oils that are really good for us as women. Clarity, just a beautiful oil to help reduce cortisol, relax, soothe, and ease menstrual symptoms. We know that lavender is a great all-rounder. It calms our mind, promotes a restful sleep, and it can help relieve some of that discomfort that we may have with our menstrual cycle. Hopefully not as much if we start to do all the steps beforehand. And lang lang, it's known as the oil for the heart. It really helps to reduce blood pressure and body. It helps to relax the body as well as boosting libido. We know that some people absolutely love geranium, and it's just got a really grounding aroma and really helps with soothing frazzled nerves. Bergamot is a real it's a real special oil. It helps with so many things. It really uplifts and helps to increase our happy hormones. So think of all the citrus oils we breathe in, maybe wild orange, lemon, they're really good. And bergamot, just yeah, it's a wonderful one to have to increase our mood, happy hormones. Frankincense, just if you think we're made of I don't know how many trillion cells, if frankincense supports the cells and oxygenates the cells, what's one drop of frankincense going to do? Because it covers, there's so many tiny little molecules in that one drop, it will cover every cell in the body and just help to balance things if things are not working well. So frankincense is going to help as well. And then these are some lovely roller blends that we can make using some of the oils maybe in our kit. We've got the stress relief roller blends. If you've got a 10 ml roll, empty roller, you can put like lavender, frankincense, wild orange, really nice to use on the pulse points, or take it with you in any stressful situation just to breathe that in and have it as a natural, as it be a beautiful perfume as well. As we said, we've got the Clary Calm, but you can make your own if you've got these single oils, a Superwoman blend, just to help with hormone support. You can roll it over the ovaries, or you can put it on the wrists and the ankles, which should directly link to our ovaries and uterus either side. And the brain fog be gone would be a good one. If you don't have all of them, just use, if you've got peppermint, frankincense, wild orange, just use that. It's definitely going to help with focus as well, because that's some of the things that some of the uncomfortable symptoms, isn't it? Brain fog that we get. So yeah, even the kits themselves are wonderful, because when you think, if we're taking lemon daily in water, it's going to cleanse our liver. It's really going to cleanse our whole body. It's going to help with sluggish digestion. And when we think if our digestion is nice and everything's going right, I find that the women, since I've been doing this, the women that are constipated have hormone problems because nothing's getting out and it's all staying in. So we really need to get a good flow going. And if we have any problems that way, we're not doing a regular bowel movement, then consider some of the oils for the digestive system to support that, which is lemon, zengest, and peppermint. Again, we've got things like lavender and frankincense for hormones. Peppermint, we can make a spray up to cool us down and keep it in the fridge. Maybe a few drops of peppermint with water in a spray bottle. That's really soothing. And on guard to protect our immunity. A lot of us are really tired. A lot of people, well, not us, because obviously we use oils every day, but a lot of people that I meet, it's like, I'm so sluggish, I'm so tired, I've got post-viral fatigue or long COVID. Just take On Guard every day just to drop. It'll sort it out, because On Guard's so powerful at getting rid of these lurking viruses and pathogens in the body. So yeah, even just using this kit alone is going to make a massive difference. And I think that is everything. I think I've covered everything on the slide. Yeah, that's fine. Is there anyone?
Rachel, can we just quickly go back to your lovely rollerball blends, please, just so if people want to screenshot, they can. Thank you.
No problem.
You're a gem.
Hopefully you can see that. Let me just switch that over.
Perfect.
You got that? Okay, lovely. All right. I will pause the recording there. So thank you all for listening.